Hi, and welcome to today's episode of the Terrinique Show. I am your host, Terrinique Pennerman, and I'm so happy that you have decided to join us for yet another episode of the Terrinique Show. It is episode 18, guys, and I am so excited that we made it this far and that you have made it this far. Thanks so much. Please like, follow, subscribe. We are the Terrinique Show on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Please, if this information is helpful to you, like, follow, and subscribe. Today's episode is about how to tell if your product will flake and 6 ways to avoid it. No one likes flakes in their hair or flakes on their clothing. Dandruff is one thing, but product flaking is a no-no because it absolutely can be avoided. Unlike dandruff, where your scalp is just having a bad day and it's just itchy and dry and flaky. Yeah, okay, we understand that, but products should not flake. I mean, who wants to go through an entire wash day? And wash days can take a bit of time, some people an hour to whatever. So you go through your entire wash routine and you have the perfect style, the perfect twist out, wash and go, or whatever, and your hair finally dries and it's a clump mess of these white little particles. Who wants that? No one wants to put in all that work and just have a hair that's full of white mess, right? So today we're gonna explore why your product will flake and 6 ways to avoid them. Number 1, the culprit behind flaking of products is polymer molecules. So polymer molecules are usually found in gel type products, and the function of the polymer molecule is to clump the curls or clump the hair and provide hold. So if you are using a light hold gel, a medium hold gel, or a harder, stronger hold gel, that means that gel would have, a light hold gel has less polymer molecules, medium has a little bit more than a light hold gel, and a stronger hold gel has even more. So the difference in the gel is an example of the level of polymer molecules that are in the gel. Now, when the polymer molecules dry, they form a cast over the hair. And when that cast breaks, that is when you see the flakes in the hair. For example, let's think about it like if you were, when you're in school, maybe in elementary school, you would play with glue, right? So you would take glue and sometimes it would get on your hands. I'm thinking about like the white Elmer's glue. Everyone is probably familiar with that. You put that on your hand and then when it dries, it forms like a cast or like a white cast or a white sheet on your skin, and it starts to, as you rub it, it starts to break. That is exactly what happens when you're using a gel product and you put it on your hair and it starts to break because it's mixed with creams or products that it should not be mixed with, and it starts to break much like the gel cast would break if you put it on your hand. So that's an example of why you would have white flakes after your product dries. So in order to prevent this from happening, you need to first of all start off with a clean slate of hair. A clean slate of hair means that you have shampooed your hair, it is freshly washed, there is absolutely no more product built up in your hair, right? Secondly, what you would want to do is apply any type of product to damp hair. You don't want to apply gels to hair that is dry, because if you apply a gel to hair that is dry, the cast will form because there are product built up on your strands. So it's like applying, let's say, Elmer's glue to another set of Elmer's glue. It's just a recipe for disaster. So start with a clean head of hair. And my recommendation, if you're gonna use a gel that has a strong hold, I would recommend using an oil instead of a leave-in conditioner. If you are going to use or really need to use a leave-in conditioner, do not mix brands. For example, if you're using a stronghold gel from one brand like Kurlee Belle, then use the Kurlee Belle leave-in conditioner. Mixing of brands, which is our third tip to avoid when flaking, will cause flaking, because usually brands design their products to work together. So they've already tested their products and they know that the leave-in conditioner will work with the gel. So you don't want to mix brands. There is another option if you absolutely have to mix brands, is you can do the mix test. And what the mix test is you would put a dime size or a quarter size of your leave-in conditioner or your curl cream, whichever you want to use, on the top of your hand, and then you would put a dime size or a quarter size of the gel that you were going to use, and you would mix them together on the skin. If you mix them together and you find that they mix smoothly and there are no clumps, that means that it will not flake once you put it in the hair. If the gel and the leave-in conditioner is mixed and they clump, then that means that it will flake. So that is a way that you can, a surefire way that you can test out if your products will flake and if you're using different brands. Also, number 4, avoid using too much product. So we tend to be heavy-handed with the leave-in conditioner, with the curl cream, and with the gel. Heavy-handedness is a recipe for disaster when it comes to styling your hair with products that have polymers in it. So you want to avoid using too much product. How do you avoid this? When you section your hair, you will see that the curls have started to form. Once the curls have started to form, you don't need any more product. You don't need to apply any more product. But if the curls have started to form and you see like there's whiteness on the hair, like excess product is hanging around, you want to gently remove that excess product, because once that dries, it's going to stay in that area and that's going to cause flaking. Also, lastly, follow the product instructions. Follow the instructions that are on the product. I know that we are so caught up in our ways and we know how to do everything and we don't want to read any instruction manuals, but it is important, especially when you're using gels or gels from a new brand or mixing any type of product, that you follow the instruction. If the instruction says this works well with our leave-in conditioner or our curl defining cream, then you want to follow those instructions, because the brand already knows that the products that you're using work well together. When you start to venture off into mixing brands, that's how the misconception comes in that, oh, this product does not work. Yes, the product does work, but the application that you're applying it is what's causing it not to work how it is intended to. So I hope that this was helpful. So there are 6 ways to avoid product flaking. Number 1, start on freshly washed hair. You want to start on a clean slate of hair, get rid of all the product buildup, get rid of all the gunk, so that your gel will be on freshly washed hair and will not clump. Number 2, apply products to damp hair. Do not apply products like gel to dry hair. This is a recipe for disaster. It will cause breakage, it will cause dryness. It's just not a good idea. Number 3, do the mix test. Mix your leave-in conditioner with your gel on the top of your hand, and if it clumps, that means that your hair will flake. Number 4, try not to mix brands. Brands have designed their products to work together. And if you are going to use the product how the brand said not to use it, or they didn't give you those instructions, then what's gonna happen is the product is not gonna work how it is intended to be used. Number 5, avoid using too much product. Do not be heavy-handed when it comes to gels, when it comes to leave-in conditioners. These things that stay on the hair, do not be heavy-handed because it will cause clumps. So you want to avoid using too much product because it will cause clumps. And number 6, follow the product instructions. I know we don't like to read manuals because we know it all, but sometimes you just have to follow the instructions that are laid out on the product. I hope that this was helpful to you, and if it was, please follow, like, share, and subscribe. We are the Terrinique Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Follow. Thank you, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and have a great day.